Are you excited to watch the new Minion movie? Well, too bad, because we're going to watch a complex and layered character-driven study about a composer in today's society. Huh? What do you think about that? Do you want to watch that? No? Okay. Too bad. Yeah. Buckle up. Let's talk why my poodle is in a panda outfit. Because it is Halloween. She doesn't know what to do. It's her favorite time of year, isn't it? Isn't it your favorite time of year? But let's talk the new film, Tar, with Cate Blanchett. With the release of Tar, we are headed into the Oscar bait season. Tar is a masterclass in subtle storytelling and reveals itself over the course of the film's runtime with a deeply layered intent. I must say, though, the trailer for this movie was a little misleading. I thought I was getting myself into more of a psychological thriller type of movie, something kind of like Men, maybe even a little bit of horror aspects to it. But it is not that film, so if that is what you're thinking as well, you better look elsewhere.
I keep hearing something.
Because Tar is more of a slow burn, more of an intellectual cinematic journey, one that requires a lot of patience, not a lot going on. It's more of a character study, so if that does not sound like your good time at the movie theater, I suggest you look elsewhere. From the get-go, I knew this was going to be a different kind of movie because the end credits, are at the beginning. They're actually at the beginning of the movie. It starts showing like what? Cater? Rigging grip? You know you're in store for something different. It's asking you to think about like why we are watching this. Why is it in this order? And it goes up to what we normally see, which is the director credit, and then the movie begins. So what is he trying to say? I will get to that maybe just a little bit later, so remember that subject. But I will say that it all leads into the main messaging of this movie, the core and heart of this film, which is all about power. And Lilu wields power. She looks tired at the moment and kind of a little, sleepy at the moment, but she wields power. Power comes in many shades and forms in this film, whether it be how gaining and losing power affects the ego, power as it relates to romantic relationships, power in social dynamics, the hierarchy of power, and power as control, or how society treats those in power.
By the power of Grayskull!
And Cate Blanchett plays a character called Tar, who is at the top of the food chain in her field, by all senses of the word. She is successful. She is, she has many accolades. She is the top of what it means to be a maestro. She always has an audience, whether it be a crowded press tour, a room full of students in a classroom, journalists, fans, and this is a woman that can orchestrate her success or her downfall. Now, Todd Field's using an orchestra to orchestrate the basic framework of this narrative, of the power dynamic, was quite effective and well chosen to tell this story, as the orchestra has a very specific power dynamic and hierarchy. Cate Blanchett's character even at one point says the orchestra is not a democracy. But while it's not a democracy, the conductor does not work in complete isolation. Every individual, big or small, is required to create these beautiful works of art. It just doesn't fall on one person's shoulders. Lilu, don't think you're just pulling the weight here being in a bear costume, okay? I have to do a lot of work too, Lilu. Lilu, even at the top, one piece isn't bigger than the sum of its parts. Let's go back and discuss the opening of this film once more.
We have to go back!
Usually, the stars of the film get top billing. What does it mean that the second assistant craft service guy gets top billing in this movie? all the crew, the ones that you usually are getting up and leaving at the end of the movie and not paying attention to all the names that help make the movie, now you're forced to sit through it to watch the movie. What does it all mean? What are you trying to say, Todd Fields? What are you telling us? Could it possibly be that you're turning this whole idea of a power dynamic on itself and questioning even yourself in this big machine of the film industry? I think that is what he's going for here. Because a film director is kind of like a conductor. And without all the sum of its parts again, without the set production assistants, without the assistant directors, without the greensmen, you can't do it without the best boy. The best boy grip. He's important. So without all of these collaborative efforts in a field like the film industry or, a orchestra, these great compositions would never be made. And so if we are going to discuss power dynamics, the film industry or the orchestra is a perfect place to have such a story. And for me personally, who works in the film industry, I relate to it a lot, seeing a lot of the egos that are on set and the power struggles. Oh, the power struggles. So it's a very fascinating character study, and you are able to talk a lot with a dog in a panda suit behind you. The fascinating thing that I found about this movie is Todd Fields is not really casting judgment on these characters. He's not on a platform here to tell you what to think. He is merely presenting a fully driven and interesting, complex character, and he's just presenting them and giving them to you and asking you to ask these questions. He is not forcing your hand at all. At one point, Cate Blanchett's character praises Bach for his compositions that leave you with a sense of questioning. And that is exactly what Fields is doing here. He is leaving you with a sense of questioning. He's not saying whether it's good or bad, but he leaves you with things to consider and to go home once you're away from the big movie screen to maybe have some more thought and more discussions with people at home. A good piece of art should pose more questions than it gives you answers. I'm a sucker for movies about good character studies. Whether it be a dog in a panda suit or Cate Blanchett as Tar, I am all about it. Tar is a very deep and fascinating character with many layers to it, and it is played by the amazing Cate Blanchett. I don't have to be the one to tell you that she is one of the best actors in Hollywood today. And with this performance, I would say it would be an easy Oscar nomination. We'll see how the competition, tightens up this fall. There are a couple of other ones coming up that look fascinating, but if I were to put my bets, I would say Cate Blanchett, at least a nomination. This is not a very nuanced performance. I'm not believing you are a panda bear. Lilu, you want that Oscar? Don't you lay down, you want that Oscar? Biggest complaint I would say about this movie is sometimes the sophisticated dialogue and long drawn out scenes lost me a little bit.
Get it? Are you listening to me? I look into your eyes and I can't tell whether you're getting anything I'm saying.
Left me a little like going, wait, what did I miss? What's happening? And the runtime itself, Fields directs a lot of the scenes with a lot of basic camera edits and the camera angles, especially at the beginning, like when he's being interviewed by the New Yorker. It's just cut to a long take of Cate Blanchett, cut to the reviewer, and there's not a lot of interesting angles. It's just you're living in the space, and even the oneers suggest that as well. And living in that space sometimes is a long, uncomfortable feeling when there are these long, drawn-out conversations. And I could see that some audiences, might not like this. They're used to a little bit more entertainment value, minute for minute. And this movie uses its long runtime. It's a long runtime, and it doesn't really do a lot. But I would argue that those moments are very important for the subtlety and those very complex issues that it is discussing. But if you are not up for, using this movie as a study of film or the emotions that he is asking you for, if you are purely in it for entertainment value, this might not be the film for you. Like classical music itself, there are long meandering moments building up to a crescendo, but all that's necessary to take you along for the emotional journey. In the end, this movie is a very smart, complex, and layered film with deliberate direction that a young Nathan filmmaker would have wrote essays about. I mean, there's so much to unpack in this movie, and I could keep on talking about it and even get in how society loves building up icons and tearing them down, or what is the meaning of art and entertainment? Does it require status to be meaningful? I could keep on going, but I can't because I have a tired little panda. Yeah, she's so tired. Now, this film isn't for everyone, as I said, but for me, this movie is a solid green light. It is a good way to bring us into the Oscar season. If you like a little bit more milk duds and popcorn for your movie, this might not be the movie for you. You might get a little bored with it. Long run time, even for an Oscar bait movie. And so green light, solid green light, wonderful performance. And as Yoda would say, begun as Oscar season has. And that was a horrible, horrible impersonation of Yoda. Lilu, next time you're wearing a Yoda outfit and you are pulling the weight of being Yoda. Lilu, you're just such a little cute distraction. Yes, you are. You're distracting me from all the... And the Oscar for the greatest dog in a panda outfit goes to... that other dog. Sorry, Lilu. He is much better than you.